sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. Tonight, the Tigers' six-game homestand continues. Welcome to downtown Detroit. The Houston Astros in town again tonight as we bring you Game 2 in this three-game series featuring the Astros and your Detroit Tigers. Taking the hill tonight for the Tigers, Doug Fister. And Roddy's trying to shake off the effects of his shortest outing of the season last time out against Washington.
He only lasted 3 innings, and the reason for that, he could not get his fastball down in the strike zone. He also did not have a very good curveball. He couldn't command that pitch either. He got back to the drawing board in the bullpen, and as a result of that, we'll see a good Doug Fister here this evening.
Mario and Pemba, Ron Allen, we are glad to have you with us here tonight. Fister is just hopeful he can get some of the same production the offense gave the starting pitcher Sanchez last night, namely Andy Dirks, who really, since the end of April, has been outstanding.
He looks healthy. He looks like he has his legs underneath him. And remember, Andy Dirks really didn't have the last 2 weeks of spring training because he hurt his knee. But he's finally rounding himself into shape. Real good game last night. Single, homer, single again in that ball game. Actually, a double in that game to go along with a single and a big fly. Also moving really good in the outfield these days. He's making all the plays. He's going back. He's coming in. He's also stealing bases. So it's good to see Andy Dirks doing what Andy Dirks is capable of doing. And it's also equally as impressive to see that with the fact that Jackson now on the disabled list. Looks like Andy Dirks can hold down that leadoff spot until he gets back.
All right, after a short break, we'll send you back to the Call Sam Studios in Justin White. But coming up in this one tonight, the last time Lucas Harrell was on the hill, the Tigers were scoring 17 runs. We'll see if the big bats are going to show up against Harrell tonight. Tigers-Astros next. Park in downtown Detroit tonight. The Tigers and the Houston Astros getting set to do battle here. Game 2 in this 3-game series. Tigers won the opener last night behind a couple of home runs. Doug Fister is on the hill tonight. He will face Robbie Grossman to get this one going. A little bit of a breeze here at the ballpark tonight, but much warmer than it was last evening. Here's the first pitch of the ball game, and it's a strike called on Robbie Grossman. Doug Fister tonight is presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And Doug Fister comes in with some really good numbers. 4 wins. He has 1 loss. The ERA is just a shade over 3. He had a difficult time. His last outing against the Washington Nationals lasted just 3 innings in that contest. Jim had to pinch hit for him because of the National League rules.
Grossman, 2 out of 4 in the ball game last night, looks at a strike, and the count is 1-2.
Doug said he worked on some things in between that start and today's start in his bullpen session, and he really needs to concentrate on getting the fastball down and commanding the breaking ball the way that he had in prior starts.
1-2 is grounded to first base. Right there is Prince. He'll take it himself. And 1 gone. Here's the rest of the lineup for the Astros, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Grossman, Elmore, and Castro, your top 3. Carter is at first base. Pena Martinez also in the middle, and Paredes, Dominguez, and Gonzalez, the bottom 3 for Bo Porter and the Houston Astros. Jose Altuve was placed on the bereavement list, and so he is not with the ball club. Of course, he suffered that injury last night to his jaw. Jake Elmore was called up from Oklahoma City, and he looks at a strike. Elmore played in 30 games in the big leagues last year with Arizona. Toward the end of the season, the 0-1 pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. So Altuve, unfortunately, a very difficult evening for him last night with the injury. Here's the 1-1. Tried to check it. He went around. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One out, nobody on, just underway. Altuve also lost his grandmother last night, and so he is on the bereavement list. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Jake Elmore. Nice night tonight. 69 degrees our game time temperature. And he floats one out towards second, caught there by Infante. 2 gone.
Beaumont Health System will sponsor the Tigers starting defense here this evening. Dirks in left, Don Kelly back out in center again here this evening. Torrey Hunter's in right. The infield left to right reads Cabrera, Santiago, Infante, and the Prince, and Alex Avila. And putting down the fingers tonight for Doug Fister.
Night off tonight for Johnny Peralta. Santiago gets a start at shortstop. And Johnny off to a terrific start. He'll get a breather this evening as Jason Castro stands in with 2 away, and he floats 1 foul back out of play. Castro did not have a hit last night, was 0 for 4, batting .248. "11 doubles, leads his ball club, batting in the 3 slot this evening, and Fister backs him out of there. Doug this year has hit 10 batters and has hit at least 1 batter in 6 of his 7 starts.
He has hit more batters than he has walked this year.
Here's the 1-1. That's an odd stat in itself. I don't know how often you see that. He has a total of 8 walks. So the base on balls certainly have not been a problem for Fister, but he's hit 10. 1-2.
Something else that Doug Fister has done a marvelous job of this year, and really since he's had a Tigers uniform on, that's getting ground balls. 2.5 ground balls for every fly ball that has been put in play this year against Fister, which is the top number in the American League.
And he backs him out of there. Castro taking a little bit extra time getting into the box, trying to slow down Fister as he walks around home plate. 2-2. 2 out, nobody on, just underway on a breezy evening here in the Motor City. Crowd still settling in. Here's the 2-2. Got him. Strike three. Castro caught looking. And a 1-2-3 inning for Doug Fister. We're headed to the bottom of the first. No score. Some of the sights of last night's opening win. Southeast Michigan Ford dealers will bring you the Tigers starting lineup for this one. Dirks, Hunter, Cabrera at the top. Fielder, Martinez, Avila. In the middle, you've got Peralta, Don Kelly out in center, Omar Infante batting ninth at second base. And Don Kelly getting another start out there in center with Jackson on the DL. And that means that Dirks is back up in the leadoff slot again here. And boy, did he perform well last night. He had a 3-for-4 night with a grand slam home run. .260 batting average now for Andy. It continues to climb, and he waves and misses. 1 ball and 1 strike. Dirks now with 12 RBIs. Lucas Harrell on the hill was beat up the last time he faced the Tigers. Here's the 1-2. Dirks skies it in the air to center, not deep. Robbie Grossman camping under it. 1 gone.
Yeah, the last time they saw Lucas Harrell, he gave up 8 runs to the Tigers, and Prince and Mickey drove in 6 of those. He's had some issues with his command lately. 10 walks in his last 2 starts for Harrell. He talked about the fact that he needs to command his fastball a little bit better here today against a really good offense.
Harrell is one of those guys that gets a lot of ground balls. But when the Tigers faced him back on the 4th of May, they scored 8 runs in 4 1/3 on 10 hits.
They did a really nice job of making him getting the ball up in the strike zone, and when he did, they hit the ball right on the screws.
1 ball and no strikes on Torrey Hunter. 1 out, nobody on for Detroit. Hunter takes one on the outer edge, a strike.
And we told you Doug Fister's ground ball to fly ball ratio, which is the best in the American League, at 2 per 1 fly ball. Harrell is 3rd in the American League.
Big swing there by Torrey on a breaking ball.
So you would think that the infielders here today will be very busy if both guys are on top of their games.
Yeah, if we go according to plan, that would be the case. Harrell is ahead of Hunter, 1 and 2. And a bouncing ball right on cue. The shortstop charging, barehanding, trying to at least. Gonzalez. It's going to be a tough play. So Torrey is aboard with a 1-out single.
Yeah, Gonzalez played this slow roller the best way that he thought that he could get Hunter out, and that's to barehand it. And he didn't watch it into the hand, therefore Hunter on with an infield single.
Tigers in last night's ball game had 9 hits. They have their first tonight. It's an infield single for Torrey Hunter. The one guy that did not have a hit last night was Miguel Cabrera. He was 0 for 4, which stopped his 11-game hitting streak. Torrey draws the throw. Cabrera still leads the American League in hits. He has 55 so far this year. Off to a tremendous start. Strike called on the outside corner, 0-1. Miguel back in April had a 12-game hitting streak. He had the 11-gamer snapped last night, so he in stretches has been, it's sometimes almost impossible to get out. The Astros know all about that. He had a 6 RBI game against Houston. Bouncing ball this time to third. Looks like a double play. 5 for 3. And that'll do it for Detroit. No runs, an infield hit, nobody left. We go to the second. No score so far as we go to the top of the second here at the ballpark. And Doug Fister climbs on top of the hill. A 1-2-3 first inning. He'll face Chris Carter, Carlos Pena, J.D. Martinez in the second. And the first pitch is in for a strike on Chris Carter. 0 for 4 last night with 3 strikeouts. Batting .221 on the year. The power hitting first baseman tonight. He also plays some outfield and DHs. 1 ball and 1 strike on Carter. He has seen Fister a few times. He's homered against him. 3 for 8. Breaking ball is rolled foul. 1-2. Fister went 3 innings in his last start before being lifted for a pinch hitter. He threw just 74 pitches. And he missed outside with that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2 off the mask of Avila. In fact, it knocked it off. 2-2 the count stays.
It appears he gets one of these at least once a game.
Well, there's his 1 for tonight. Hopefully that'll be it. Fister again with the 2-2. Drilled to center field on a line. That's going to drop in. Base hit.
Nice piece of hitting there by Carter. If he is able to do more of that, especially with 2 strikes. his batting average will rise above 221, and he won't strike out as frequently as he does. Because the one thing that Bo Porter is going to give him an opportunity to do, along with his outfielders, very young outfield, is give them all an opportunity to play this year so he can figure out who can be an everyday player as they move forward the remainder of this year and into 2014.
Well, here is one of their everyday players and one of their few veterans. That would be Carlos Pena, DHing tonight for Houston. Pena last night 1 for 4. The shift on defensively, and Pena showing bunt. 1 ball to no strikes. 21 walks for Carlos this year, good for 5th in the American League in that category. He's had some big walk seasons, also has had some big strikeout seasons as well, and a whole lot of homers. Again showing bunt, and he lays it foul. 1 ball 1 strike.
I saw last night where Rick Ankiel, who started a couple of games against the Tigers when the Tigers were on that last road trip in Houston, they designated him for assignment, which basically means they released him, and he's playing center field now for the New York Mets.
Well, a guy like that you would believe would land somewhere and still have an opportunity to play this year. 1 ball 1 strike on Pena. That floats high. 2-1 the count.
And really they did Ankiel a favor because with guys like Martinez in left and Grossman in center and Paredes in right field and Carter also playing first base and outfield, Ankiel wasn't going to get many at bats.
Carter is aboard right now with a leadoff single. We're in the second. No score and a strike called on Pena. 2-2. Carlos this year has started all but 4 games for the Astros. A team that came in 10-29 this season. Tigers conversely 21-15. Little pop up, shallow left, and it's going to drop out of the reach of Cabrera. Somebody needs to cover third, and Santiago scampers over there. Back-to-back singles here in the second.
Well, even if the Tigers didn't have the shift on here, I doubt very seriously if Miguel would have been able to make the play.
And so a threat brewing now for Houston.
Dave Clark and Carlos having a laugh about that last little duck snort into the outfield.
Here's J.D. Martinez. Doubled in the ball game last night, 2 out of 4. Fister missing high, 1-0.
And here's where Fister gets himself out of jams with his ability to throw ground balls. 26 total pitches, 10 have missed the strike zone. 16 strikes for Doug.
That's in there, 1-1. Oh, just 1 for 16 this year with men in scoring position for Martinez.
That's a bingo number.
63. And the 1-1. Bouncing ball foul. 1 ball 2 strikes. Martinez off the disabled list. He sprained his right knee and really has, despite last night getting 2 hits, struggled offensively since coming off the DL. Great opportunity here, though, with 2 men on, nobody out. We're in the second. Right off the end of the bat, an emergency hack there, and he stays alive. Martinez was the Astros minor league player of the year a couple of seasons ago, 2010 for Houston. Fister came inside but missed. 2 balls 2 strikes.
Very pleasant evening here tonight, buddy. 63 degrees. feels good outside.
Yeah, we were in the 40s at game time last night. And a really, really nice day here in the Motor City. Supposed to be nice tomorrow as well. And the 2-2. Down the right field line, slicing. Foul. Nice catch, bat boy. Pretty good play. And a nice handoff to a fan. Fister again with the 2-2. And another foul back out of play. And now Martinez becoming a pest at home plate. Fister up to 32 pitches. He had a quick 1-2-3 first inning, but now back-to-back singles by Carter and Pena here in the second. Just missed with a breaking ball. Now it's full at 3-2.
Well, first decision of the game for Bo Porter. 3-2 count, nobody out. And we've well documented the fact that Doug throws lots of ground balls. Would he dare start these runners?
He did not that time. The previous pitch actually was a borderline strike, but he did not get the call from Corey Blazer. 3-2. 9 pitch at bat. This will be number 10 coming up. And he drives another one foul.
He's got a pretty good approach against Doug. And when you go up against a guy that has a really good two-seam fastball, a good sinker, your approach should be one of which where you're trying to hit the ball into right field or through that hole on the right side. It appears that Martinez has tried to do that on every last one of his swings so far in this lengthy at bat.
Ground ball fair inside the bag at 30. Hooked it down the line. That'll get a run in. Carter comes in to score. They're going to stop Pena at third base. Double and an RBI for J.D. Martinez.
Martinez had a really good at bat. He saw several pitches before finally getting the 3-2 breaking ball. And even though he was fooled and he was out in front, Miggy was about 5-6 steps off that line down at third. And even with a dive, Miguel wasn't able to slow it down. And Carter able to come home and score the first run of the evening for the Astros.
And that was an 11 pitch at bat for J.D. Martinez that resulted in an RBI double. Still nobody out. And Jimmy Paredes will step in, the right fielder for the Astros. He's played in only 7 games so far this year, recently called up. He looks at ball one.
Paredes batted second in last night's game. He dropped down to that 7th spot this evening.
He got the call from Oklahoma City on Monday. 1 ball, 1 strike. He was batting .366. And he's got a couple of men in scoring position here. Lifting back out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Paredes. Fister gave up 8 hits in just 3 innings in his last start in that outing at Washington, resulting in a loss. The Tigers lost that game 5-4. Missed it inside.
Fister this year has had difficulty getting the right-handed batters out. They're hitting 100 points higher than left-handers are. He's given up 3 hits today, 2 of those to right-handed batters. And the reason for that, he really hasn't been able to command his breaking ball. He's fallen behind. He's been forced into some fastball counts. And right-handers have had some good swings against Doug this year. It hasn't been that way in his career.
He has fallen behind again to this batter. 3-2 on Jimmy Paredes. Pena down at third base. Martinez at second. And the 3-2. High fly ball. Right center field. Hunter and Kelly. Kelly lines it up. Runner will tag and score. It's a sacrifice fly and an RBI. Paredes knocks home Pena to make it 2-0 Houston. And Martinez gets the third. Third RBI for Paredes since being called up. Here's Matt Dominguez. Hitless in last night's ball game. He was 0 for 4, the average at 256. Tigers draw the infield in here with a man at third. And for Doug Fister, this has been a long inning. His next pitch will be his 30th of this second inning. Foul back 0-2. Dominguez in the 8th spot in the lineup here tonight. Had a couple of home runs off HOU Darvish in the recent trip to Texas. Lucas Harrell is enjoying the offensive support early. Swing and a miss, struck him out, and Fister gets a big strikeout there. Second of the game for Doug.
Yeah, good firm fastball up in the zone. Dominguez not able to lay off of it.
Two outs for Marwin Gonzalez. Gonzalez last night 1 for 3. Ball 1. Earlier this year, HOU Darvish had a perfect game going with 2 outs in the 9th inning against Houston, and Marwin Gonzalez stepped up and singled to spoil the party.
He hit the ball right between the legs of HOU Darvish.
Came that close to a perfect game. And speaking of right between the legs, that one goes back up the middle. Tough play, and Infante throws him out.
Nice recovery there by Omar Infante.
1-4-3 on that putout, but the Astros will get a pair of runs. They leave a man. We go to the bottom of the second. Nothing as we go to the bottom of the second. Lucas Harrell back to work facing fielder Martinez Avila. Runs batting .289, takes ball 1 outside. Fielder with 9 home runs this year. He's driven in 33, had a double in last night's ball game. And trying to get something started here in the second tonight. And that is low. 2-0.
He loves performing right here at Cabrera Park. 23 consecutive games. Prince Fielder has been on base right here at Cabrera Park. Dating back to last season, of course.
Here's the 2-0. That bounces in. Hits the catcher. 3-0.
Let's take a look at the Houston Astros starting defense, brought to you by Tim Hortons. Very young outfield with Martinez, Grossman, and Paredes. The infield reads Dominguez, Gonzalez, Elmore, and Carter. And Castro is a catcher here this evening.
That's it for a strike. 3-1. Harrell needed just 10 pitches to get through that first inning. Gave up a single, but then got a double play ball. He's done a lot of that this year. That's a wave and a miss.
Good change up there by Harrell. In a fastball count to a dangerous fastball hitter. Real good pitch.
Popped up in the air towards shallow left. Martinez comes in and Fielder is out. One gone.
After the 3-1 changeup, as a hitter, you're still looking for your fastball, but because you got that changeup on the previous pitch, it might be in the back of your mind, and even a really good hitter like Prince Fielder doesn't get on top of the fastball there because he may have been thinking possibly about another breaking ball as well. That's why the changeup is such an effective pitch.
Here's Victor, who homered in the ball game last night. 2-run shot, his second of the year.
He's been swinging at a lot of first pitches on this homestand.
Does it again and shoots it foul, back out of play. 0-1 on Martinez. 7 RBIs this year against Astros pitching. They met in a 4-game series in Houston last week, a 3-game set here at Cabrera Park. Now the 0-1. 0-2.
Only 17 total ribbies for Victor this year, so he has done major damage against Astros pitching.
Harrell has retired Fielder to start this inning. And now the 0-2. That's popped up. Left side of the infield. Dominguez, the third baseman, and the shortstop Gonzalez.
A lot of miscommunication going on early in this game.
He was in his back pocket, and it was Gonzalez to make the catch.
It's the shortstop's ball. Now, Dominguez is a good defender, but the shortstop, he's a captain in the infield, and whatever he calls, he can take. Dominguez simply has to get out of the way.
Hey, you can vote for your Tigers McDonald's Player of the Game, presented by the new Egg White Delight McMuffin. Using your cell phone, text Tigers, then a space, then the player's uniform number to 37338, or vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com. Alex Avila, the batter. Strike one. Avila 0 for 4 last night. He's hit 4 home runs this year. Oh, 2.
And Tigers hitters are going to have to do Harrell the same way that Houston hitters have done Fister here this evening, trying to slow him down. And because Fister likes to work very quick. Harrell also is working very quick out there.
And because of that, Avila stepping out of the batter's box, adjusting his helmet. Now he's back in. Here is Harrell's 0-2. Bouncing in.
And we've seen a couple of changeups in this inning from Harrell at 83, 84 miles an hour. It's a circle change. He also has some heavy sink on his fastball. The velocity will get all the way up to 94, 95. That's his signature pitch. A good two-seamer at the bottom of the zone.
Off the plate. 2-2.
Lucas was halfway to the dugout after that fastball inside.
Pretty close. That'll bounce in 3-2. Harrell has gotten a couple of pop-ups in this inning, but we talked about the fact that he gets ground balls. The double play that he got off the bat of Cabrera in the first inning was the 11th double play turned behind him already this season, which is a major league high. And now the 3-2 coming home to Avila. Back out of play. They're the big double play guys so far this season. In the American League, Wei-Yin Chen is second with 10 of them, and Clay Buchholz with 9. Harrell leads the way. And he lost him. Avila gets a 2-out walk. Tigers have their second base runner of the game. Alex at one point was behind in the count 0-2. Here is Omar Infante. Omar was 0 for 2 last night, but he did score a run. Walked and scored in the game. Used to seeing him in the 9 slot in the lineup, but Kelly and Santiago batting behind him tonight. Ball 1. .312 batting average. And Infante has done his best work right here at home. He's over 400 in the average column at Comerica Park. 2-0. Promising start to this inning for Harrell. A couple of quick pop-ups on a couple of tough hitters, Fielder and Martinez. Then he got ahead of Avila and walked him. Now he's behind Infante, and it's danger time here for Harrell with a 2-0 count. Missed again. 3-0. Don Kelly waiting on deck. There's a strike right down the middle, and Infante taking 3-1. Ratio starting to tighten up a little bit now for Harrell, who was the Astros Rookie of the Year last year. Ready with the 3-1. Hit to the shortstop on a backhand. Gonzalez will get the force at second, ending the inning. No runs, a walk, 1 left. Tigers baseball tonight presented by Bell Tire. Well, the Astros on top of the Tigers here as we go to the top of the third, and it'll be Robbie Grossman, the top of the Houston lineup. First pitch swinging, and he flies one to left field straight at Andy Dirks, and 1 pitch, 1 out. Hey, the Bernstein Advantage brings you the scouting reports on the 2003 Tigers versus the 2013 Astros. And Rod, of course, the Tigers won 43 games that year. That's the projected finish for the Astros, and here are some similarities.
Yeah, that 119 is really not a number that you want to be associated with if you are the Houston Astros. In any way you slice them numbers, they're not pretty.
Ball one inside of Jake Elmore. Elmore 0 for 1. Called up from AAA, replacing Jose Altuve, who's on the bereavement list. 2-0. Elmore was hitting .300, scored 20 runs down at AAA, had a really good on-base percentage. And we're seeing that as a common theme among some of the guys that have come up from the minor leagues. Their on-base percentage usually going to be pretty good.
Well, especially with Houston. If you're getting on base and you're scoring some runs, you got a pretty good average. You're going to get a chance to play in Houston this year, especially if you're in AA or AAA.
Last season at Reno, he had a really good year. 32 stolen bases that year. 3-2 on Jake Elmore.
Really nothing else for Elmore to prove in AAA. Not with those numbers.
And his good start this year at Oklahoma City. He turns on that one, rolls it toward third. Cabrera is going to have no play. It's an infield hit. Well, we have a moment. Back to the studio we go for a game break. Here's Justin White. All right, Justin, thanks. Those Indians came in a half game behind the Tigers in the Central. They've got some interleague action going. Jason Castro, the batter. 1 on and 1 out. That was the 4th hit of this ball game for the Astros. Castro is 0 for 1. Doug had a 33 pitch second inning.
And here's our high speed, our charter internet stat of the evening. First 19 games, 7 steals, 10 attempts for Houston. Last 20, 14 steals and 19 attempts. So they've been running a little bit more frequently.
But it's a difficult chore with Fister on the mound.
No doubt.
Jeff Jones was saying before the game that they thought Fister was trying to get a little bit too quick when he had a runner at first base in his last start against the Washington Nationals. And that may be where he had run into some trouble. He tried to slow him down. He does so well at holding runners on, but he might have gotten a little bit too fast in that last start.
Well, they had Span leading off in Bernardina. Batting second, and then Washington order, and both of those guys have really good speed.
They are burners indeed. 0-2 on Castro, and another toss back to the bag. Elmore, as we mentioned, stole 32 last year in the minor leagues. Rolled foul behind home plate. Castro was caught looking at strike 3 to end the first inning. Didn't care for the call and had a chat with Corey Blazer as they ended that first inning. He's in an 0-2 hole again here in the third. Former Stanford Cardinal is was their top prospect in 08 and 09 when he first got to the Houston organization. Fister taking some time now as Castro steps out. 2 runs, 4 hits for Houston, no runs, 1 hit for Detroit. RBIs for Martinez and Paredes in the second. Ball away, 1-2. Eighth start of the year for Fister, 4-1. Tigers in his starts are 5-2 as a team. That's popped up. Shallow left field. Santiago drifting. Dirks coming in. Easier play for Andy. 2 outs. Runner retreats. Now the cleanup man, Chris Carter. It was his single that got it started back in the second. They eventually scored him. We were talking about him a little bit last night, Rod. He's a guy that spent a lot of time in the minor league system with the A's, and you've talked about the high strikeouts and the high home runs. At this point, can they make him into a hitter that may have a better approach with 2 strikes to cut down the strikeouts?
I think so. I really do believe he can. He's got really good hand-eye coordination, even though he strikes out a lot. When he does swing the bat at strikes in the zone, he puts the ball in play. His issue is chasing pitches with 2 strikes, but his first time up today with 2 strikes, really good at bat against Fister. And strikeouts are always going to be a byproduct of a power hitter. But if you're Houston, you may as well give him all the at-bats that he needs to see what you have.
Well, he hit as many as 39 home runs in a minor league season as a member of the athletics organization. Fister behind 2-0. Ground ball to short. Backhanding Santiago. Force out. Inning over. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Here comes the bottom of the 3rd. Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. Jeep. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. And by Capri Sun. No artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives. Nice night for ball here at the ballpark. 63 degrees right now, and the Tigers trying to get the bats going. Down by 2. Don Kelly starts it off and looks at a strike. It'll be Kelly, Santiago, and Dirks. 2 runs, 4 hits for Houston. No runs, 1 hit for Detroit. Lucas Harrell delivers a strike, and now it's 0-2. Kelly last night 1 for 3, getting his 2nd straight start. Out in center field in the absence of Austin Jackson. Missed it outside, 1-2. Still have yet to see Abisail Garcia play since coming up before yesterday's game, but he'll get his opportunities. Here's the 1-2. 2-2 on Kelly.
Avisail really performed well last year, that final month of the season. Handled himself like a 10-year veteran when the Tigers got into the postseason. For a kid that's just 21 years old.
Bouncing ball, second base side. Elmore. Well, you can see the Tigers battle the Astros Wednesday and take advantage of the Super Spring Special. Upper box seats are half price, only $13. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. One out, here is Santiago. Ramon an opportunity to play short tonight. Had 4 at bats in that series against the Astros back in Houston last week, and Ramon was 2 for 4. The 1-0. That's a strike. 1-1. Harrell likes to work quickly. Swing and a miss.
Apparently he's made some nice adjustments. And he told you, if you weren't with us earlier, that in his last 2 starts, 10 walks and just 9 innings pitched for Harrell. But he's filling up that strike zone with regularity today.
2-2. Andy Dirks on deck. The Tigers top of the order. And the 2-2. Lifted back out of play. One of the cool scenes every year in the Tiger clubhouse is Santiago and his 2 young sons, Raymond and Andres, and they are here for this homestand. 2 of the cutest kids you will see. And they're always running around the clubhouse. With Ramon in tow, here's the 2-2, and it's lifted out of play again.
Tigers have a kid-friendly clubhouse.
Yeah, we see Prince's kids around all the time. Of course, Victor's son. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And now it's 3-2. They want the appeal, but he did not go, says Jim Joyce. Santiago trying to get something started here with 1 out in the 3rd. Tigers fell behind when Houston got a pair in the 2nd. Ground ball right side. Again, it's Jake Elmore. 2 gone. Time now for the Farmers Insurance Report Card on Andy Dirks. You know what happened last night for Dirks. Hit a grand slam home run, the first of his career, and he's the first Tiger to hit a grand slam on an 0-2 pitch since Randall Simon did it back in the 2001 season. And it was a big hit for the Tigers that blew it open. A 6-run 4th inning. Tigers hit 2 homers in that frame. Victor Martinez had the other. Here's the 0-1.
And Lucas Harrell incorporating more breaking balls, second time through here to Andy Dirks. First time fastball changeups. Another breaking ball there at 82 miles an hour. And a good one. This thing just tumbled right off the table.
Led the club in wins last year, innings pitched as well, and starts in 2012. Here's the 1-2. Ground ball short. Gonzalez plays it on the backhand and throws him out. And Harrell gets 3 ground ball outs, 3 in the books. What former Detroit Tigers pitcher led Major League Baseball with 8 complete games in 2001. 8 complete games, 2001. Former Tigers pitcher. Answer coming up in a little bit. Carlos Pena leads it off. Pena, Martinez, Paredes in the 4th inning. Pfister has thrown, well, 63 pitches now. Pitch count was up with a good portion of those in that 2-run second. And Pena had a single in that 2nd inning. Ripped to second, caught there by Infante on a line, 1 gone. Pena now 1 for 2. Here's J.D. Martinez. Doubled in a run. In fact, he really gave Pfister fits in the 2nd. 11 pitch at bat. And it culminated with him hooking a ball inside the bag at 3rd for a 2-base hit. Line drive, caught on a dive by the shortstop Santiago. Nice play. 2 gone.
Tigers don't miss a beat from a shortstop standpoint when Santiago is getting the start and Peralta is not playing. A couple of steps and a dive. He takes the 2nd hit of the evening away from Martinez.
Plucked it right before it hit the grass. Here's Jimmy Paredes. Sac fly to drive in a run back in the 2nd, then made it 2-0. The hook bounces all the way to the backstop. Paredes spent parts of 2011 and 12 with Houston. And he skies one in the air to left. Andy Dirks camping under it. And it's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Mr. Pfister with some help from Santiago. The Houston Astros doing battle here in game 2 in this 3-game series. The Astros on top right now. 2-0 is our score. We're headed to the bottom of the 4th inning. Torrey Hunter, Miguel Cabrera, Prince Fielder, 2, 3, and 4 facing Lucas Harrell. And then Hunter fouls the first one away, 0-1.
You get you a Powerball ticket?
I did not. Did you?
$360 million.
And if it gets to $500 million, I'll go for it. Don't you love it when people say that? It's only $10 million. I can't waste my time. 0-1 on Hunter. That's a lot of dough.
It is. They say you got a better chance of being hit by lightning twice.
Twice?
Twice in winning the lottery.
Wonderful. There's a strike 0-2.
Those aren't good odds.
No. But what do they say? You got to play to win.
Yes, indeed.
Here's the breakdown on Lucas Harrell. 50 total now. Here's the 0-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Torrey Hunter. Infield single back in the first. If you did win $360 million, what would be the first thing you bought?
Oh my goodness. I don't know.
I don't either. I'd go on a trip somewhere. I know that.
That is a good question. I really don't know.
Maybe buy one of Verlander's cars off of him. That's outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
He's got enough of them.
I don't know if he's selling though. 2-2.
I know I'd give a lot of it away, that's for sure. A lot of charities would benefit.
Oh, no doubt. Here's the 2-2, and it's slowing away. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Torrey Hunter.
I'd pay your house off.
Would you do that for me?
I'd do that for you.
I'm not sure your wife would be too crazy about that.
Oh, that'd be like a penny, a nickel.
Oh, that's true. Roll toward third base. Going to be a tough play for Dominguez. His throw is scooped at first, and they got it. Nice play by Carter.
One of the things that Bo Porter has said about Dominguez, his very young and talented third baseman, is that he has a possible gold glove in his future. Look how far he's playing off the line. He gets over there. He surrounds this ball, and then he throws off balance. But look at the arm strength that he does to get the ball over there. And here's a little bit of what he's been able to do this year.
He has made just about every type of play. And he made a pretty good one there to take a hit away from Hunter.
Bo Porter said if he hits, and for a little bit of average, because he has 15 to 18 a home run pop in his bat, he might win a gold glove someday.
Here's the 1-0 to Cabrera. For Miguel, he bounced into a double play in the first and now 0 for 5 in the series. The average at 367. 40 runs driven in.
I was riding up the elevator today with Mr. Tiger, Al Kaline, and I was asking him that does Miggy remind you of anybody that you played with in your era? And he said no. He says, I've never seen anything like it. And the players that I played with in my era, there were some good players, but none could hit like this guy.
3-0 pitch. Think about all the great players Al Kaline has played with and against, and no one comes to mind. The 1-out walk. Bring up Prince Fielder. Got a statue, got his number. All of it on display here at Comerica Park.
He's got his own corner out there, too.
That's true. Fielder flying out back in the second. Tying run coming to the plate here with 1 out. We're in the 4th. And a ground ball to first. Carter tags the bag 1, and now Cabrera will be tagged out 2. It's another double play turn tonight by Lucas Harrell. America Park, the Astros 2 runs, 4 hits. Tigers have only 1 hit in this game so far against Lucas Harrell. And that was an infield single by Torrey Hunter. Pfister back to work. Matt Dominguez will lead it off for the Astros. Dominguez, then Gonzalez and Grossman. 8, 9, and 1 in the Stros lineup. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Here comes Santiago. 1 pitch, 1 out. Pfister on a bit of a roll now. That's 6 straight retired. Marwin Gonzalez coming up, number 9 hitter. He's over 1 tonight, bounced out back in the second. Gonzalez taking some extra time before he even approached home plate. Hit one off the glove of Pfister back in the second. Went 1-4-3. Now Gonzalez needs more stickum.
You were talking about Gonzalez and the fact that he broke up the perfect game of HOU Darvish. It was Darvish's first start of the year. And Tigers will see HOU Darvish in just a couple days. The matchup, he and Justin Verlander, that ought to be a doozy.
As they say, one that you would pay to watch. That'll be on Thursday.
Both guys are really similar. Although Darvish has 5 different pitches, of course, we know Verlander has 4. Fastball, curve, slider, and the changeup.
Two balls, 1 strike. That's in there. 2-2 on Gonzalez. A lot was expected out of HOU Darvish very quickly. He was obviously highly sought after and had a pretty good year his first season in the big leagues.
He did. He had a couple of spells last year where he wasn't really performing, but in Japan you only play 130 games. You have a lot more days off in Japan. So it took some time for HOU Darvish to get acclimated to the lifestyle in the big leagues.
Gonzalez down on strikes, and there are 2 away. AT&T trivia question again this evening was as follows. What former Tigers pitcher led the big leagues with 8 complete games in 2001?
He's in the building, isn't he?
He is. He's wearing a headset, though. Not a uniform. That would be Steve Sparks. Currently the radio analyst for the Houston Astros. He had 8 of them in 2001. Good man, Sparky. And then now embarking on a broadcasting career. Here he is. He's wearing glasses these days, though.
Yes, he is.
Like the rest of us. 2 balls, no strikes. Robbie Grossman 0 for 2. Ground out, fly out. They called Grossman up from the minor leagues at the end of April 24th, and since then has played in 18 of the 19 games the Astros had played in.
He made some really nice plays against the Tigers when the Tigers were in Houston for that weekend series. He was running down everything in the outfield.
So he is clearly getting a long look and an opportunity to show what he can do at this level.
And Bo Porter said before the game today, not only he, but also Martinez and Paredes also going to get really long looks this year.
Swing and a miss, and Pfister has a 1-2-3 fifth, including 2 strikeouts in the inning. 4.5 in the books here at Comerica Park. Astros on top 2-0. Arby's. Try Arby's new King's Hawaiian roast beef sandwich. Arby's, slicing up freshness. And by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. Well, the Tigers trying to get the bats going. They have managed only one hit so far, and that was of the infield variety off the bat of Torrey Hunter. Victor Martinez, Alex Avila, Omar Infante here in the fifth. 2-0 in favor of Houston. Middle game in this 3-game series. We wrap it up tomorrow. Here's the 0-1. Martinez popped up to the shortstop his only time. 0 for 1. Now the 1-1 pitch. That's a foul ball and barely. Sizzling down the third baseline and right by Jim Joyce.
Joyce got little in a hurry.
Had balls and strikes in last night's ball game. Here's the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's Avila waiting on deck. Now time called as Victor steps out. Harrell in his high school days played short and pitched, which is not odd. I mean, a lot of pitchers in the big leagues were one of the best athletes on their team, so they usually play short. But he also played on a state championship baseball and basketball team. It was a high fly to center field. A lot of room out there, though. And Grossman is under it for the out. 1 away. Hey, it's a Fox Sports Detroit Prize Pack Tuesday brought to you by Meijer. Text Meijer to 37338 to be eligible to win a fantastic prize pack that any baseball fan would love. Meijer math means savings that really add up. At Meijer, the math always works in your favor. 1 out. That'll bring up Alex Avila. Hard to believe the Tigers put up 8 runs on 10 hits in 4 1/3 against Harrell the first time they faced him. That was in Houston. Ball 1 missing outside.
And coming into action here tonight, the Tigers in the 5 games they had played against the Astros this year, they had outscored them 44-10.
Ball 2. Did you read the information about the Astros and how they're going about the minor leagues and the tandem pitching that they have in the minor leagues?
I have seen something on that.
It's really interesting in the way they've decided to go about how they prepare their young pitchers. Now, the Astros have made quite a few trades, and they've gotten a lot of pitchers in return. So what they've decided to do is designate 8 pitchers on each minor league team as starters and pitch them in tandem.
Yeah, one guy will get 1 start, and he'll pitch 5 innings, and then the other starter will come in and pitch 4, and then the next time out, the one guy that pitched in relief gets to start.
Swing and a miss.
Somebody else did this a few years back, and I'm trying to think if it was the Oakland Athletics.
I think it might have been the Cardinals.
Someone has done it. I do know that. I remember another organization in the minor leagues doing it.
Well, I guess the basis behind it is that starters sometimes have trouble the 3rd time through the lineup. So in order to speed up their development, I guess the thinking goes, they pitch them in tandems. That's rolled back to the mound. Nice barehanded play by Harrell.
And you can also find out which guys in your minor leagues will be starters in the big leagues, and the rest of those guys will just be in the minors. Meanwhile, the Tigers have not been able to figure Harrell out here today. In his last couple of starts, he really struggled with his command, but only 1 walk so far today by Harrell. Make that 2.
He's been good. He's had a couple of double play balls. Didn't rush that throw, and he retired Avila. Infante steps away from a strike. Omar hit into a force back in the 2nd. That ended the 2nd inning. And he lines one to left. That is the 2nd Tigers hit of the night. 2-out single.
Harrell's able to get ahead of Omar with one strike and no balls, and he came back with a 92-mile-per-hour fastball that got way too much plate and drilled in the left field by Infante.
Now Kelly, who is 0 for 1 with a ground out. Ball 1. Don batting 196. Rolled foul. Kelly getting a chance to play some center field with Austin Jackson on the disabled list. I was talking to Don before the game, and he said this is really about the time of night where it gets a little bit easier to play center field. And some of the other guys that have played center in this ballpark have told me the same thing. Apparently there's light that shines through right below our press box here, which makes it somewhat difficult at times for center fielders to pick up fly balls.
I thought only the left fielders had difficulty here.
Apparently not. Don said that the ball that Pena hit last night, he didn't see off the bat. And all you can do is, I guess it's the same theory of as the ball going through the lights or in the sunshine, just wait for it to come out. But Curtis Granderson, when he played here, said that was a difficult thing in playing here early on in games. Then obviously when it gets darker, it's not a problem. Pull to right field. That is going to be a foul ball. Kelly came close to driving in a run. Here's that comparison we were talking about on May 4th. Some ugly numbers for Lucas Harrell, but anything but tonight. That's going to make the Astros brass happy. Bo Porter on the right. You got Doug Brocail, the pitching coach, on the left. Eduardo Perez. Two with the runner going and no throw. Stolen base for Infante. Uncontested.
Pretty good jump here by Omar, and by the time Castro thought about throwing it down there, and because of the jump that Omar got, and he thought better of it.
So Harrell now has gone full at 3-2 as Infante steals his second of the year.
Tigers don't run all that much, but when they do, they're usually safe.
Little looper into left. That's going to drop, base hit. That'll get a run in. The stolen base pays dividends as Kelly cashes in.
Big hit by Omar Infante. Huge steal by Infante and a clutch knock by Don Kelly. Fastball right down the middle, sliced over the head of the shortstop into shallow left field, and by the time Martinez comes up with it, no play on Omar.
Tigers played a little small ball there to get a run in.
Yeah, Tigers are 16 of 18 in the steal department this year.
Here's Santiago. I didn't realize they were that good. Paid off here. Santiago is 0 for 1. Tigers leading base stealer is Jackson with 5, currently on the disabled list. Santiago grounded out his first time up. 2-out single by Infante starts the rally. Strike called on the outside edge. 1 ball, 1 strike on Santiago. 2-1. Houston has the lead. The Astros got a pair in the second. Blocked there by Castro. Harrell has gone to 7 3-ball counts already in this start. And he's behind here 2-1. He's got Andy Dirks, the top of the lineup, waiting on deck. And now Santiago given time as Harrell takes way too long. Lucas, a native of Springfield, Missouri. Lifted toward left field. Slicing. That ball is hit well. It's going to get down and go to the wall. This will tie the game. Kelly coming around to score. Santiago comes through with a 2-out, 2-base hit. 2-2 game. Bottom of the lineup getting it done again.
Last couple of left-handed batters, that would be Kelly and also Santiago. Really good plate appearances against Harrell, the sinker baller. You can't try to pull him, so you have to let that ball travel, which both guys did. Both guys rewarded with a single and double respectively, and both guys have driven in a run.
Kelly scored easily. And Ramon has just picked up his first RBI of the year.
And Santiago does not get an opportunity to play all that much this season because Peralta is playing so well. But he's already contributed on the defensive end with a real nice play. And then he contributes with a double here.
2 out, nobody on. A single by Infante started this rally, and the Tigers have tied the game.
Well, you knew it was just a matter of time before the Tigers put a run or 2 on the board. They're just so talented and very difficult for any pitcher to get through this lineup for an entire evening.
Now Dirks a chance to give the Tigers the lead. And he drives one high in the air, right center field. That ball is hit well. Paredes going back, still going back, not going to get it. Up against the wall, and now a ground rule double for Dirks. The Tigers have a 3-2 lead.
That's going to cost Andy a triple. Boy, was he flying around the bases. Andy Dirks had 3 hits in last night's game. He homered, he doubled, he singled. He doubles here again. Had this ball not bounced out, it would have been another triple for Andy Dirks. But look at him run here. He's flying.
You hit a ball into that part of the ballpark, you know you've got a chance to get 3.
I love the fact that when guys hit balls out in the right center field and left center field, our base runners, they're not looking at the third base coach so he can tell them to come over. They're making the decisions themselves. I really like that.
Meanwhile, Doug Fister is happy with the run support here. A 3 spot in the 5th.
Keep the line moving. Sorry about that.
I'm just going to say it fell apart quickly for Harrell. It's 31 consecutive games now with an extra base hit. The second longest active streak. Pittsburgh has the longest active streak. Well, let's see if Hunter can keep the line moving. Tigers have 4 straight hits to take the lead. Torrey taps it foul 0-1.
Big swing there by Torrey on that 87-mile-per-hour cutter. Looked like he was trying to hit it out of here. Off to a terrific start, .336 batting average with 19 RBIs.
Two extra base hits in this inning, doubles for Santiago and Dirks. Now the 0-1. Way outside. It'll roll by the catcher, Castro. Move Andy up 90 feet. Doug Brocail's got to be thinking, man, this happened quick. A fly out from Martinez, a ground out of Avila. Then 4 straight hits, and the 2-0 lead has evaporated. Torrey pretty good. 2 outs, men in scoring position, 4 for 10. Driven high in the air, but this is going to hook foul down the left field line. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller time later in tonight's game. It is brought to you by Miller Lite. Fisker has gone from trailing 2-0 to leading 3-2. And the good news is Doug has had a couple of quick innings his last 2 times out. So he is settling in. And the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Hunter goes down swinging, side retired. Big frame for the Tigers. Dirk's able to double one in. Likewise, Santiago. Kelly had a big knock. Totaled it all up. Tigers have the lead. Quickly, they get 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th, and now Doug Fisker goes to work in the top of the 6th inning. 3-2 lead. On a beautiful night for baseball here in the Motor City. Temperatures dropping a little bit. Upper 50s now. It was upper 60s at the start of the game. Fisker back to work, and it's strike 1 on Jake Elmore. Elmore, Castro, Carter here in the top of the 6th. 1 for 2 for Elmore. He is single, 2 at bats. He'll loop that one into shallow right field. Torrey coming out. 1 out. That's what we're talking about. Fisker, he has really settled in. 9 straight retired. He had just a 6-pitch 4th and an 11-pitch 5th. And after giving up a couple of runs in the 2nd, he has settled in quite nicely. Jason Castro. One ball, no strikes on Castro. Big swing there, 1-1. Tigers now had 5 hits. For the longest while, they had just the infield hit from Hunter. 2-1 on Jason Castro. Fly ball strikeout for the Houston catcher tonight. 2-2.
Here's our high-speed pitch brought to you by Xfinity. Doug Fister, right at where he always is as far as the fastball is concerned, about 91, 92 tops. 72 with a changeup, or maybe even a real slow breaking ball that he's thrown here this evening.
Off the inside part of the plate, 3-2.
That is the one thing that he has done with Castro this evening. He has pitched him really aggressive inside with that two-seam fastball.
Ground ball right side. Infante has the second hop. 2 gone. Back to the studio we go for a game break. Justin White. That's a big lumber right there.
That young kid, Aaron Hicks in center field, took a home run away from Adam Dunn last night, and Dunn told him, "You catch that one." That one was a little bit deeper.
Here's the 0-1. Carter skies one to center. And drifting back is Kelly to the edge of the warning track. 1-2-3 inning. 11 straight retired by Doug Fister.
Cabrera had against Lucas Harrell in spring training. Every single fastball, he was really trying to crowd Miguel, and he finally did. And then we flashed to this year. That was a runner on third base, so Miguel wasn't really thinking about that fastball inside, but his next time up, he knew what Harrell was going to try to do to him, and because he did it to him in spring training and he got that fastball inside and he turned on it. And very seldom do we see Miguel turn on fastballs, usually breaking balls that are hit to left field, but that's just one of the things that we always talk about regarding Miguel, how smart he is and his ability to retain what opposing pitchers try to do to him.
And even in a spring training game.
It was late in spring, so you get an idea that pitchers in that situation are pretty much going like they're in game mode. It was like one of the final starts for Harrell, so he's pretty much working the way that he wants to start the season. He's already worked on his changeup and his breaking ball and spotting his fastball. Those last two starts, you're really trying to get in game mode. And Miguel, from that start in spring training, knew exactly how Harrell would try to get him out when the regular season began.
Well, Cabrera tonight 0 for 1 with a walk. In there for a strike, 3-1. Harrell got the first 2 batters in the 5th and then gave up 4 consecutive hits and gave up the lead in the process. 3-2 Detroit. 3-1 pitch. Ripped to left center field. It's down, a base hit and more. All the way to the wall. Cabrera will cruise into second, and he has a double.
Miguel got himself in a really nice fastball count. 92 was the heater there, and the ball was outside, but Miguel was able to catch it out in front and hit the ball in the left center field for another double.
Ten doubles this year for Cabrera, his first hit tonight. Ball 1 to fielder. Tigers have 6 hits overall in this game. They lead 3-2.
In Harrell's last start against the Tigers scored 8 runs against him and Miggy and Prince. And they drove in 6 of the 8 runs.
Travis Blackley warming up in the bullpen. Left-hander. Ball 2. Harrell now is up to 93 pitches.
And this is a dangerous count for Harrell if he decides to throw Prince Fielder a fastball in a 2-0 count.
Tigers last night got to Bud Norris in the 4th on a pair of home runs. They got to Harrell here in the 5th tonight, and now trying to add more in the 6th.
Second time this evening that Prince has been up there in a 3-0 count. He did not swing the last time. 3 balls, no strikes. And I doubt very seriously if he swings here.
Harrell, meanwhile, has gone to a 3-ball count a lot tonight. 9 times. Three and 0 on Prince. He's swinging.
He sure is.
Ooh. He let her fly. 3-1.
It's the second time he's done that this year. He also swung at a 3-0 pitch in that Houston series and popped up.
Off speed that time, out in front. 3-2. Walked him. Missed with a fastball. 2 men on, nobody out. Fans, don't forget to celebrate the 45th anniversary of the 1968 championship on May 25th. Prior to the 7-8 game against Minnesota, the first 10,000 fans receive a 1968 World Series 45th anniversary commemorative coin. 866-66-TIGER for more information concerning tickets.
I saw a shot there, Willie Horton. Hope Willie's doing well after his surgery a few weeks ago.
Willie, like Mr. Kaline, statue here at the ballpark. 2 on, nobody out. And Victor Martinez standing in. Ground ball right side. It'll get through. Base hit. Cabrera. They're going to send him home. Here comes the throw, and it's cut off. RBI single for Martinez.
Martinez has been swinging at a lot of first pitches in this series and the last series with the Cleveland Indians. Great jump off second base by Miguel Cabrera. Therefore, really no play on him. And once Prince saw Miggy was being waved home there, he was able to get over to third base.
So with Avila due up, they had the lefty Blackley warming up. He will be summoned in from the bullpen, and things just unraveled quickly for Lucas Harrell. Wallside windows pitching change. Astros go to the bullpen. We'll be back.
Losing through 4 innings, but in the 5th inning, the Tigers had 4 consecutive hits. RBIs by Don Kelly, Santiago, and also Andy Dirks. They scored 3 runs in that frame. And then they already scored 1 run here in the 5th inning and knocked Harrell out of the game. A double by Miguel Cabrera and a single by Victor Martinez here in the 6th.
Tigers turn a 2-0 deficit into a lead. It is now 4-2 in favor of Detroit. Travis Blackley, the lefty, is out of the bullpen for the Astros.
He's really tough on left-handers. 3 hits for left-handers this year and 22 at bats. Good for a 136 batting average versus Blackley.
Numbers on Lucas Harrell still not complete. 2 runners aboard his responsibility. He goes 5 plus 3 batters tonight. Here's Avila. Alex, a walk and a ground out. Still nobody out here in the 6th. Strike 1 on Avila. Blackley is out of Melbourne, Australia. 30 years old. He was pitching for San Francisco last year. They put him on the waiver wire. Oakland picked him up, and he pitched really well for them down the stretch. Now the 0-1. High, 1 ball, 1 strike. Pretty good tonight for the Tigers with runners in scoring position, 3 for 4. And Avila would like to add to that and knock home Prince Fielder. The 1-1. Blackley's major league career began in 2004 with the Seattle Mariners before he made a stop in San Francisco for a couple of years. Also pitched briefly in Mexico in 2010 to get back to the big leagues. Swing and a miss. And that's the first out of the inning, a strikeout of Avila.
Yeah, real good breaking ball there by Blackley, and you can see why the numbers against left-handed hitters are so good for him. 136 batting average coming into that at bat versus lefties for Blackley.
Here's Infante, who got the rally started in the 5th inning with 2 outs, nobody on. He singled, stole a base, and then scored on a 2-out hit by Don Kelly, and that's when it all started for Detroit. They scored 3 runs. Omar tonight is 1 for 2. And he came in batting .414 at Comerica Park this year. The top home batting average in the American League. Miguel Cabrera second on that list coming in. Here's the 1-0. Bouncing away from the catcher Castro, and Prince comes rumbling home to score. 5-2 Tigers.
Nice anticipation there by the Prince down at third base. As soon as the ball hit the dirt, good secondary lead. The ball jumped over the shoulder of Castro, and Prince able to score rather easily. As soon as that ball went down, he was on the move.
Three-run Detroit lead now 5-2. Both runners move up. And Infante is ahead in the count 2-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Infante way out in front, 2-1.
Good changeup there by Blackley.
Lucas Harrell was cruising along with 2 outs in the 5th. It's been all Tigers since. Might as well get Martinez in. The 2-1. Left it high. 3 balls, 1 strike. Don Kelly waiting on deck. He's knocked in a run in this game. Blackley was in spring training with the Athletics this year. Made 7 appearances this spring before the A's designated him for assignment late March 29th. And then picked up by the Astros. Swing and a miss.
Because the Astros lost so many games last year, anybody that hits that waiver wire, they're going to get an opportunity to take that player first. They lost 107 games last season.
Opponents batting just .214 against Blackley this year. Trying to get Infante here with only 1 out. And the 3-2. He walked him. 2 on now for the Tigers. Well, it's an original 6 showdown as the Red Wings take on the Blackhawks round 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Tickets and individual suites are on sale now. Call 313-471-7575 or go to DetroitRedWings.com. Round 2 for the Red Wings after a thrilling victory in Game 7 over on the West Coast. Don Kelly will not bat. Avisail Garcia will. His first at bats is coming up yesterday. Kelly did his job, singling in a run in the 5th. Here's what we saw out of Garcia last year in 23 games in the big leagues, a .319 average.
He held his own, that's for sure. .319, didn't hit for much power, has hit for much more power in the minor leagues, but they expect that power to show up here in the majors as he matures.
He's got 2 men on here with only 1 out. Tigers on top 5-2. They've added 2 more here in the 6th. Ball 1. Garcia suffered that heel injury late in spring training. Started the year on the disabled list, and then was assigned to the minor leagues when he was healthy enough to play, and he was tearing it up down in the minors. But based on what he showed not only toward the end of last season but in the postseason as well, got a chance to be an exciting player. He's got offensive skills and he has defensive skills as well. Terrific throwing arm.
Even if he doesn't hurt his heel, I think the plan for him was to send him to Toledo, because with Dirks being the everyday left fielder, they wanted Avisail to continue to get better, to play every day, and he was not going to do that up here.
Ooh, strike called on Garcia.
And Tuiasosopo better suited for the role of a platoon player as far as left field's concerned.
Yeah, and Tui's done a great job too. Garcia last year in the American League Championship Series was 5 for 11 against the Yankees with a double. Swing and a miss. 2-2 on Avisail Garcia. The native of Venezuela is only 21. Santiago waiting on deck. He's knocked in a run tonight. Now the 2-2. Back out of play.
Tigers have a lot of really good outfielders in their minor leagues, and Avisail would be one of those. And there's the move yesterday. Jackson going on the disabled list. Avisail getting called up. Nick Castellanos comes to mind. Daniel Field comes to mind. We have another kid in AA by the name of Collins. And then that one Latin kid, Mota. Big kid, about 6'7". They got really good outfield prospects in the organization.
Well, for the past few years, the Tigers have had a ton of good pitching prospects that have been able to come to the big leagues. Some obviously used in trades. The 2-2. That's going to get away from the catcher Castro as well. Move the runners up. Are you thinking of Steven Moya?
Steven Moya.
Exactly. 6'6". From Puerto Rico. Right through the wickets. Three and two. Now the infield coming in for the Astros. Lackley doesn't move real fast, does he?
No, since he has come in, the game has slowed down drastically.
And it's going to slow down even more. Here comes Castro to the mound. Inning started with a double by Cabrera, a walk to fielder. Victor singled one in. Wild pitch has brought another one in. And it's 5-2 Detroit. And the 3-2. Ground ball slowly towards short. They'll check the runners as Gonzalez throws out Garcia. 2 gone. So they'll take a 2-out hit from Santiago. Santiago provided one of those in the 5th inning, a 2-out double to score a run. How about these updated numbers from the bottom of the Tigers lineup? The number 9 hitter, a combined 3 for 12.
Pretty good.
312, I should say, with 19 RBIs.
I think all year. They only drove in 33 runs from that number 9 spot.
Strike call.
Considerable upgrade. Infante has gotten the bulk of the time batting 9th this year for the Tigers.
Santiago knocked in his first run of the year back in the 5th. Ball outside, 1-1. Base hit here from Santiago could break this one open for the Tigers. They currently lead by 3. Tapped foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Did you happen to see Bryce Harper run into that wall last night in Los Angeles?
I did.
Oh my goodness.
They're not going to be able to tone him down either, I don't think. It's just the way he plays. Not afraid. Did you ever hit the wall that hard?
Not that hard, but I have run into a couple of them. But never like that.
Blackley ready with the 1-2 pitch. Here it is. He tried to hold up, went around, struck him out. Tigers get 2 more runs though, and they pad the lead. Martinez singles one in. Wild pitch scores another. Total it all up, and the Tigers now lead 5-2. Numbers. Doug Fister threw 33 pitches in the 2nd, but since then his pitch count has really gotten in good shape.
And he's been able to get that ball down in the strike zone. A lot of these Houston Astros have been swinging early and often in counts from the 4th through the 6th, and because of that, his pitch count has kind of gotten itself in shape.
Avisail Garcia stays in the game. He will play center field for Don Kelly, and here come the Astros in the 7th now. It'll be Carlos Pena leading it off against Fister. Doug with 89 total pitches in the game. Here's number 90, and it's a strike. Pena, Martinez, Paredes. These are the 5, 6, and 7 hitters for Bo Porter.
You might want to tune in to Tigers Live tomorrow morning. Craig Monroe was out at the ballpark early, and he and Pena were having a conversation on camera, talking about their days as a Tiger, probably their days as Texas Rangers too. Some of the trials and tribulations of a major league player trying to get on a roster and stick for the long haul.
And it's been a pretty prosperous career for Carlos Pena, who has made several different stops in his career.
Pena is the godfather of Craig's daughter, Morgan.
Down the left field line, slicing foul. 0-2.
The Tigers Live starts tomorrow at 12 noon, right?
12 noon for the 1 o'clock game. You are correct. Tune in. Pena's single and a line out in this game, 1 for 2. Now the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Boy, Pfister has retired 12 in a row.
This Tiger staff came in leading the American League with a 3.42 earned run average. And so not only Pfister, but the other 4 components to the starting rotation and the bullpen has taken over the ERA lead in the AL. They also lead the league in hitting.
Here are some of the numbers that you speak of coming into tonight's game. Wins, ERA, punch-outs. Only 11 homers allowed. A lot of quality starts. Strike called, outer edge, 0-2. The Astros haven't had a hit since the single in the 3rd by Jake Elmore, and even that was an infield hit. Martinez doubled in a run back in the 2nd. Here's the 0-2. Missed it outside, 1-2.
And Martinez has had a couple pretty good at-bats here today. Also lined out to Santiago his last time up.
Albuquerque and Koch warming up. 1-2. I mentioned Pfister didn't throw too many pitches in his last start because he was pulled for a pinch hitter, just 74. That's spoiled back into the seats. 4 times this year he's gone beyond the 100 mark. The most he has thrown in a single start, 113. Against the Angels on the road. Checked it. Did it go? Negative, says Jeff Nelson. Pretty close.
Yep, it was.
Curveball grounded fair inside the bag at 3rd. Diving try by Cabrera.
That's the 2nd time he's done that here today.
And his 2nd 2-base hit. This one coming with 1 out in the 7th inning. Jim Joyce skipping out of the way. That was the 100th pitch for Pfister. Now Jimmy Paredes. Oh, 0-1 on Paredes. Sac fly drove in a run in the 2-run 2nd for Houston. 2 squads will close it out tomorrow. Max Scherzer, Dallas Keuchel. The 108 start from the ballpark. Another big swing. Same result, 0-2. And down he goes. 3 swings and misses for Jimmy Paredes. 2 gone.
Nice little cut fastball there. Max doesn't throw a slider, but it looks like a slider. He gets that kind of action on his cutter.
Six strikeouts tonight for the right-hander Fister. Dominguez takes ball 1. Tigers pitching has piled up a lot of strikeouts against the Astros in the season series. They had a lot of them in that series in Houston. Dominguez did not go there. 2-0 the count. Down the left field line. That is going to be a foul ball. That would have gotten a run in. Two and one on Dominguez. Much different night for Fister compared to his last start in Washington. Two and one on Dominguez, who hits .324 this year with men in scoring position. Trying to draw his team a little bit closer. It's 5-2. We're in the 7th. And he rolls it foul. 2-2. Now 107 pitches for Doug, 6 shy of his season high. Martinez doubled earlier in the inning. He went around, strike 3 called. Fister ends up striking out the side. 7 strikeouts tonight for Doug. And we go to the stretch here at Cabrera Park. 5-2 Detroit. Tigers trying to make it 2 straight in this series, Ron, and kind of a tale of 2 games for Doug Fister. Struggled early with the pitch count, but he's straightened it out since.
He found that breaking ball. He didn't really have that good breaking ball first 3 innings. But then he was able to get that breaking ball going later on in this ball game, and he punched out quite a few hitters as a result of that 7 to be exact.
Lucas Harrell kind of the opposite for the Houston Astros. He was good early and then struggled. Andy Dirks drops down a bunt, and he is out at first base.
Not a bad idea by Andy Dirks. We told you the numbers that Blackley has this year against left-handed batters, so why not try to drop down a bunt base hit? But he got this one too close to the pitcher. Blackley able to field it if he gets that ball down that third baseline. I don't think Dominguez, the third baseman, is able to get him.
That's going to be it for Blackley. He retires the lefty. He'll give way as Torrey Hunter gets ready to hit. Wallside windows pitching change. And we'll be back to Comerica.
It's real nice bounce back start here by Doug Fister. Lasted only 3 innings his last outing against the Washington Nationals. He had all his pitches working here today, and really that cut fastball into these left-handers was a lethal pitch, and he even used that pitch away from the right-handers. Doug said that in between starts, he really worked on getting on top of the ball and getting the ball down, and boy, did he work it to perfection this evening.
Well, the Tigers have a 5-2 lead here as they bat in the 7th inning, and we have a new pitcher for the Astros. That would be Hector Ambriz.
Well, a lot of the guys that pitch out of the bullpen for the Houston Astros have all logged quite a few games this year. 18th game now that Ambriz has been in. 6.23 ERA, 14 strikeouts against 8 walks in the league, hitting over 300 against Hector.
5th highest ERA among AL relievers. And Torrey takes strike 1. 3 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th for Detroit offensively. Hunter batting .333. 1 for 3 this evening, and now a 5-game hitting streak for the Tigers right fielder. Here's the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And next road trip, Torrey will get a chance to sleep in his own bed. He lives in the Dallas area.
Which means he's also going to have to set up a lot of tickets again.
That's right.
As he had to do in Houston.
He has to set up a lot of tickets everywhere.
Swing and a miss. 1-2. Action at the top of the Tigers lineup. Dirks, Hunter, Cabrera, all with hits. Santiago had a big knock at the bottom. So did Infante. One and 2 on Hunter. Two and 2 on Torrey. He started the season very quickly in his new uniform with the Tigers. In fact, Hunter hit .370 in the month of April. His running mate, though, Austin Jackson at the top of the lineup on the DL right now. Those two combined for a lot of magic in April. Swing and a miss. Fastball up, and he got Torrey Hunter. 2 gone.
Last couple days, Andy Dirk's been doing a pretty nice job in that leadoff spot in the absence of Austin Jackson.
Yeah, Dirk's another double and an RBI in this game tonight. Here's Cabrera. Miggy doubled and scored in the 6th. He also has a walk.
Miggy had an 11-game hitting streak snapped last night, and because of that, he's got himself a new bat. And not using that bat that we talked about the last week that was all beat up, the one that he was doing a lot of damage with.
That's all it takes is an offer.
Yeah, for a guy like Miggy.
Foul away.
I don't remember him breaking that bat last night.
I don't either. One on Cabrera. Cabrera had a 12-game hitting streak in April, an 11-gamer in May. Here's the 1-1. Sends him sprawling out of the box. Humphries had elbow surgery a couple of years ago. Did not pitch. Has time in the big leagues with the Indians and the Astros. And he made it uncomfortable there for Miguel Cabrera. Here's the 2-1. Swung on and belted. Way back and left and gone.
When he hits to the left, man, do they go a long way.
An absolute bomb to left. Little sidestep around third. Here he comes.
After the fastball inside, Miguel knew he was going to get something outside, and he knew it was going to be a breaking ball. It's a 2-1 slider and that he just absolutely kills.
The roar of the crowd tells you all you need to know. 11-game hitting streak comes to an end last night. Starts up a new one here tonight with a double and a homer. And he sends Humphries packing. Cabrera, and the new pitcher for Houston is Wesley Wright.
Wesley Wright's number is not that bad. 2.81 earned run average. He's already pitched in 18 games this year. He's only given up 1 home run to a right-handed batter.
Fielder looks at a fastball up 1-0. Prince a walk and a run scored back in the 6th inning. Tigers now with 3 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th after trailing 2-0. Strike called, 1-1. Little history between these two. 357 for Prince against Wright. Now the 1-1. Ooh, we hit him. Ouch. Very quickly, the home plate umpire, Corey Blazer, got between Fielder and everybody else. It'll be a 2-out base runner.
Sorry, the 4th time that Prince has been hit this year. He was hit 17 times last year, which tied for the American League lead.
Here's Victor Martinez. Prince on for the 2nd time in this game. Drill down the left field line, but foul. That thing was coming in hot. Those guys better be thinking they're stars right now.
I mean, the ball boy's got a glove down there, but he whiffed at it.
He gave it a shot.
Yeah, he did.
But it was hit a little bit too hard. Oh, 0-1 on Victor.
You saw those numbers that we put up. Wright versus Prince Fielder. Prince hitting 357 against Wright. That's the 2nd time Wright's hit him this year.
Well, and Prince made a slow walk down to first base.
He was not happy about that.
You could just tell by his body language. And the 1-1. 1-2 on Victor. Martinez 18 RBIs. Singled one in back in the 6th inning. That was off the starter Lucas Harrell, and that was the last batter that Harrell would face.
Of the 18 runs that Victor has driven in this year, 8 of those have come against Houston.
Leaning up against the Astros pitching staff. And the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 6 runs, 8 hits for Detroit, and 2 runs, 5 hits for the Astros. Avila waiting on deck. One more between these two teams tomorrow, and then the Tigers are off to Texas to take on the Rangers. And then eventually Cleveland on the next road trip. Now Martinez will step out, as Wesley Wright is in no hurry to deliver the baseball either. Low, 3 balls and 2 strikes, and all night long Castro has had to dig balls out of the dirt. Wild pitch in the 6th inning, scored a run for the Tigers. Three and 2. on Victor Martinez, which means fielder will be off and running. Ground ball left side, base hit. Out of the reach of the shortstop Gonzalez. That'll keep the inning going. It's Martinez's second hit of this game. 9 of them now for Detroit.
And it's good to see Victor starting to come alive as far as that bat's concerned. Starting to find some holes.
Two more hits tonight for Martinez. 2 singles and RBI. That'll bring up Avila. Two on and 2 out. Harrell started in this game. They've gone to the bullpen a couple of times. Blackley, Ambriz, and now Wright. Ball 1 to Avila. Alex in search of his first hit tonight. He had a base on balls back in the second. Otherwise 0 for 2. Ground out, strikeout. Here's the 1-0. Outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Tough for Brocale to watch right now. 6-2 Tigers. The 2-0. Foul straight back. 2 balls, 1 strike. Wesley Wright, born in Montgomery, Alabama, still lives there. Given name is Daquan LaWesley Wright. Goes by Wesley. And has been with the Astros for parts of the last 5 years now. Rule 5 pick from the Dodgers. Here's the 2-1. Bouncing ball right side, straight at the second baseman Elmore, and that is going to end the inning. Tigers, however, get another run. Boom goes Cabrera. We're watching Tigers baseball tonight. Presented by Bell Tire. Detroit is brought to you by AT&T Uverse TV. Check availability at 1-800-PICK-ATT. Rethink possible. Back here in downtown Detroit, Motor City Casino is the backdrop. It is 6-2 in favor of the Tigers. 6 runs, 9 hits Detroit. 2 runs, 5 hits Houston. And this head-to-head season series here has been pretty lopsided.
50 runs for the Tigers, just 12 for the Houston Astros. 73 hits for Tigers hitters.
Well, the Tigers have gone to the bullpen now. Joaquin Benoit will come in and pitch an inning.
I mean, Joaquin's been pitching some really good baseball lately. Well, really all year. They're 159 ERA, the league hitting 155 against him. 22 strikeouts for Joaquin. He, along with Albuquerque and Smiley in that bullpen, major reason why Tigers pitchers have struck out so many to go along with their starting 5.
Marwin Gonzalez leads it off here in the 8th. Gonzalez, Grossman, Elmore, 9-1-2 for the Astros. And that is a ball outside, 1-0. This is the 6th meeting in the season between these two clubs. Tigers pitching has racked up 62 strikeouts against Houston hitters. That includes tonight. Fisker had 7 tonight before departing. Oh for 2 for Marwin Gonzalez. Two balls, no strikes. Lifted to center field. Garcia backing up. 2 steps, 1 gone. Gonzalez 0 for 3. It's Robbie Grossman. Oh for 3 tonight for the Houston leadoff man. Grossman, strikeout, flyout, groundout. Came in having hit safely in 11 of his last 13, yet his average still only 203. And he looks at strike 1. One ball, 1 strike on the speedy leadoff man who was originally drafted in the 6th round by the Pittsburgh Pirates. Many felt he dropped that far in the draft because he had committed to play baseball at the University of Texas. Wave and a miss. And then the Astros received him for Wandy Rodriguez in a deal last year. 1-2. Got him. Strike 3. Grossman took 1 too many. First strikeout for Mr. Benoit.
Fastball that Grossman thought was up and outside. And he may have had a little beef. Right on the corner.
Jake Elmore. Ball 1 to Elmore. Infield single in the 3rd. 1 for 3. One ball, 1 strike. Benoit once again this year been a workhorse for Jim Leyland. 73 appearances last year. way outside, all the way to the backstop. 2-1. Valverde warming up. Right now it's a 4-run lead for Detroit. Here's the 2-1. Make it 2-2 on Jake Elmore. Elmore, throughout his minor league career, which has spanned time with Arizona and the Astros, has walked more than he has struck out in the minors. Big time high on base percentage guy. He'll drive that one foul back out of play. 2-2. Benoit looking for a 1-2-3 eighth inning. He's one pitch away. Missed with it. 3-2. Should Elmore reach, Castro would be next. Swing and a miss to strike him out. Benoit has a 1-2-3 eighth. Couple of strikeouts in the process. We're on our way to the bottom of the eighth. It is the bottom of the eighth inning here at Comerica Park tonight. The Tigers trying to make it 2 straight against the Astros. They lead 6-2. And it'll be Omar Infante leading it off against Wesley Wright. The first pitch is in for a strike on Infante. Tigers were down 2-0 in this game. They really had nothing going offensively. With 2 outs in the 5th, Infante got it rolling with a single, stole a base, and then scored. The Tigers would end up putting together 4 straight hits to take the lead. It's a lead they have not given up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Omar has a walk and a single. Here's the 1-1. Infante shoots it down the right field line. Base hit. He's on again. A little trouble with it. Paredes gets it back in, though. Leadoff single, second hit now for Omar. The Tigers battle the Minnesota Twins on May the 26th at 1:08. It's Sunday Kids Day. All kids receive Tigers team baseball card set. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. Did you collect cards as a youngster?
The ones that I did collect, I used to put in my
don't tell me, your spokes?
My spokes.
Oh,
I did. I had some good ones too. I'd hate to think about some of the ones that I ruined. You didn't do that?
Yeah, I did. I got to be honest with you, but not the marquee players.
That was a cool thing to do.
It was. It gave you that motorcycle sound,
right,
as you rode your bike. Here's Garcia. Javi pinch hit back in the 6th inning, grounded out. Tigers now have 10 hits. Again, double digits in the hit column. They've done that quite a bit this year, which is one of the reasons why they came in atop the American League with a team batting average of .284.
They've had a pretty nice 6 weeks. Top hitting team, top pitching team, third in defense.
One and one. Tops in hitting, tops in pitching, and for a good portion of the first month, tops in defense as well. But Baltimore and Seattle right now have the fewest errors, along with Detroit. Baltimore 11, Detroit and Seattle 12. Tigers trying to win their 22nd of the year tonight. That's fouled off 1-2.
They got one more game here against this Houston Astros team, but that 4-game series in Texas is going to be a grueling series. Two of the top teams in the American League. Two of the top teams in baseball, for that matter.
Many thought with Josh Hamilton leaving, Texas would be struggling this year, but the Rangers are atop the West.
They got 24 wins.
And already a 5-game lead coming into play tonight.
Saw that over the Oakland Athletics.
Garcia punched out of there.
Good firm fastball there by Wright, away from his arm side. That he was able to get inside and get the call from the home plate umpire, Corey Blazer.
Here's Santiago. Ramon in this game, RBI double. Part of that big 3-run 5th inning, which turned the tide in this game. The Yankees and Texas both came in with 24 wins coming into play tonight. Who is the bigger surprise in your mind?
Yankees.
Yeah, I'd go with that. Although Granderson is coming back tonight, I believe, or came back tonight. The 0-1.
Did Mariano Rivera announce his retirement prematurely? He's got 15 saves and 15 chances.
You think he might retract that retirement?
Well, if I'm ownership, you're
making a bid, aren't you?
Trying to entice him.
He has not skipped a beat after missing last year with the injury. Tigers lead at 6-2. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Santiago knocked in his first run of the season with his double back in the 5th. That's a strike. Ramon hasn't had quite as much playing time this year, with both Infante and Peralta playing well up the middle. Both hitting above 300.
And Jim knows how important it's going to be, though, to somehow keep Santiago as fresh as he can and get him some playing time to give Peralta and Infante a breather every now and then.
Swing and a miss. Santiago left the strike zone there. 2 gone. Third strikeout for Wright. We're told that Granderson started in the left and batted cleanup tonight for the Yankees. 0 for 3 so far. We're in the 7th inning of their game. The Mariners and Yankees tied at 3. Here's Andy Dirks. 2-base hit which produced a run in the 5th. One of the 10 Tigers knocks in this game.
I was talking to Lloyd McClendon before the game today and was asking about Dirks and had they made any adjustments to his swing as to the surge in his power and the fact that he's gotten quite a bit of hits here late. And he said not really. He said Andy missed pretty much the last 10 days of spring training.
Bouncing ball to second. This will get him out of the inning
because of that injury that he had. So he's pretty much in spring training mode for the first month.
He's back now. We check out our Comerica Bank game summary for this one. The Tigers had a big 5th inning, 4 hits, had a couple of doubles, scored 3 runs, and that turned the game around. Cabrera's had a big night, including a homer. But Rod, tonight, how about Fister?
No walks. 7 strikeouts for Doug Fister. Did give up 2 runs, but only 5 hits, and stayed out there for quite a while. 7 innings logged by the Tigers' right-hander.
New pitcher is Jose Valverde out of the Detroit bullpen.
He struggled his last time out there. First time we've seen him struggle in a Tigers uniform this year.
Valverde has real good numbers against his former team. 7 saves, 7 opportunities. This is not a save situation, but a 1-2-3 9th inning would be nice.
He threw 29 total pitches just a couple of days ago and did not throw 1 split-fingered fastball. 29 straight fastballs by Papa Grande the other day.
He will face Castro, the number 3 hitter. He'll start things off. Then Carter, then Pena. Fister goes 7. Benoit pitching the 8th, and Valverde pitching the 9th. If the Tigers hang on and win this one, Doug Fister would get his 5th win of the season. Ball 1 outside to Jason Castro. 9th inning is underway. Now the 1-0. On the ground to the shortstop. Santiago will backhand it. 1 gone. Castro is 0 for 4. It's going to bring up Chris Carter. Ball 1 inside to Carter. Singled, scored a run back in the 2nd. 1 for 3 tonight. Valverde is 5th in Tigers history with 113 saves. In fact, he also holds the club record in 2011 with 49 saves in a single season. Struggled in the postseason last year. He and the Tigers parted ways. Bruce Rondon was unable to nail down the closer spot. And Valverde was welcomed back. The 1-1. Fouled away 1-2 on Chris Carter. Now the 1-2. Got him. Strike 3. 2 gone. MLB.com at bat is the #1 source for live baseball everywhere you go. Available for iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At bat delivers Tigers baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, news, and a whole lot more. Text that back to 31826.
Good split-fingered fastball here by Valverde at 83 miles an hour. It didn't throw any of those a couple of days ago when he blew that save to the Cleveland Indians, but he brought it out here tonight.
Carlos Pena, the last chance for the Astros here. Fouled away 0-1. One for 3 for Pena. Singled, scored a run back in the 2nd. And now 2 out of 7 in the series. The finale coming up tomorrow. Day baseball here at the ballpark. The weather is supposed to be tremendous. Make your plans to be here. Here's the 0-1. Went around 0-2.
You think some folks gonna be calling in sick tomorrow?
They might. You got the Tigers going potentially for a sweep. Gonna be a great day. You could call in sick and go watch it in the seats.
I would not do that.
We wouldn't be back the next day. 0-2.
And that's a fact.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fouled it straight back. Last 7 straight Astros have gone down. Benoit had a 1-2-3-8. And Valverde looking for the 1-2-3-9. Again, the 0-2. Checked it, and he went around. Strike three, Valverde has a 1-2-3 ninth inning.
He got Pena another splitter as well, just like Carter, the previous batter.
So Valverde with a nice comeback outing tonight. Long home run for Miguel Cabrera. Nice win for the ball club. 6-2 the final. Back with more.